This is going to be a short video because it's all in the planning stage. I'm going to carve a Moray eel on my reef series. So normally I would just carve a Moray eel and weave in and whatever and put it in, cut out holes in the reef and have it come out of the reef and whatever, give it some movement and life. But this time I want to try something different. I have a real pretty piece of wood and I want to try to use the grain of the wood to keep it in line with the spine of the Moray. So I'll show you how I'm going to try that. I had a mystery stump that I did a video on before. It was a load of stumps. I got driftwood that was too small to carve everything out of, really, and too small even to slab it to a decent size carving block. But I did slab it an inch and a half thick, and it turned out to be extremely pretty, which I figured it would be inside the cedar stump. So here's what it looked like. You can see the wood grain in it, I hope. Here's another picture also, maybe different lights, you can see the wood grain in it. So I drew a line along the line of grain as it shows on this twisted piece of wood. So it's, then that was supposed to be the spine of the eel. And I put lines on the outside of it to give me that's how thick the eel should be. So there's my starting point, my idea. Then it's off to the bandsaw, cut out the outside of those lines of the eel. So now you can see my basic shape of the eel, the block of the eel basically. Here's a pretty stump I pulled in my pile there. You can see how it's got all the up and down that I like. I have it on an eel. It's got a dark color. So I think this is a stump I'm going to use, I think. Here's the underside of the stump as it turns out. So you can see it's pretty on both sides. I'm not really sure where the top and the bottom are. And this shows you how the contrast is going to be with that nice juniper and that real dark live oak. So I do like the idea. It definitely should show. I mean, should be very a nice contrast. It has to go in and out and over and whatever. So my thought is I'm going to do this basically with a miter saw. I'm going to start with the head in one place and then just have it start on angles. I need to go left at a certain angle, then I'll miter saw it off and I'll glue it together and I'll just segment it along, just keeping hopefully each segment with the spine in the middle, so it'll keep that alignment of the wood. Just wrap it around or whatever, just short little pieces. So that's my idea anyway. To wrap the eel around this log, since it doesn't have any holes in it or whatever. Just use a natural log. Before I started, I remember seeing another dark piece of wood out there in my pile. This was actually a burnt piece of wood, and so I don't have size. That wasn't excited. I think it's juniper. So, but boy, it sure is nice and dark and good contrast there. And it's got a solid piece, so I could easily drill in this and make holes that the eel was coming in and out of, and kind of make it easier. And this is not as nice as piece, so I don't feel bad about possibly running a real pretty piece of driftwood. I'm going to give it a day or two to look it over before I start decide which one I actually start shaping this eel to fit the log that I end up with. If you want to continue on this journey, I'll either like or follow or whatever. But in a couple more days, I'll post the next step in this journey.